Hello, hello, hello. This is Survivor Circle for July 19th, 2022. And we are just going to be taking it easy today. I've got one little list of items that I want to cover, but mostly we're just going to be standing back and standing by and talking about whatever comes up. And there's always something comes up. It seems like, wait, welcome, Maria. How are you, dear?
Hello. I'm good, and I'll stay muted for a
Is it
while
warm?
because
Is it warm enough there for you?
it's fixing to get
I looked it
worse.
up. It's like 90 degrees there.
Yeah, tomorrow it's supposed the temperatures are supposed to be in the hundreds, and then add the
Ooh,
nice
I've got my
humidity into it.
I've got my
So
AC on. And I'm just,
I'm like an idiot. I'm sitting on the back deck.
oh, it's
I just when the weather's warm, I just
I know.
absolutely hate being inside.
I
And even though
understand.
it's noisy behind me, they're mowing back behind me. So sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
put up
just
with
that's just how it's going to have to be today.
it. So we were warming up a bit before the show, and we almost I said, oh my god, it's time to start.
Yeah.
Quick, quick, quick.
Oops.
And about all the things that we're not going to talk about. And we understand now the reason why we're not going to talk about the news today, or the news over the past, what do we figure, 35 years. Yeah,
Since the
going
90s
back.
for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So back anyway, but staying with that topic, it
Oh, God.
is, in my humble opinion, yeah, an absolute fact that we have over the past few years been totally gaslighted by the media. It doesn't matter whether you're looking at it from the left or looking at it from the right, you are being gaslighted, you are being manipulated, and it's enough time to stop that. What's even worse is they've twisted us around to the point where we gaslight ourselves. Now, gaslighting, I hope everybody knows what gaslighting is. Gaslighting is usually a situation where you have very manipulative persons that kind of walk into your life and convince you that you're freaking going crazy. And they'd say, "Oh no, it didn't happen like that. It happened like this." "Oh no, I didn't do that. You did it." And they do that to you, and they play you until eventually you start playing yourself. And here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can share screen. And oh my goodness, hope I can do that.
Real quick,
Yeah.
Facebook user in that's coming up here is Jason.
Ah, cool. I told you I was going to do something that you should watch today, Jay. Okay. Let's see. Where's the button? Button. Where's my button? Uh, okay. Why do I not have a share screen? Here it is. Share screen. Do this a full screen and share screen. Share screen. See how this works? Ah, okay, good. Okay, here are a list of 10 different clues that you have been so abused that you are gaslighting yourself. And I've looked at this. My original thoughts bringing this up was that Oh, I'm above all that stuff. I'd never do that. I'd never get to the point where I gaslit myself. I've experienced it. I'm beyond that. And then I saw this list and I said, uh, yeah, I guess I do that too. So here we go. You often minimize or deny your own experience. When something happens, you immediately dismiss your own feelings and start looking for something else because you can't trust yourself anymore. You tend to tell yourself you are overreacting. Oh, it's not that big a deal. It's just something inconsequential. But it's never really inconsequential because it means something to you. You think, well, maybe I am just making it up. You struggle to trust your own intuition. That is very, trust your gut. You start thinking you're way too sensitive or dramatic. Oh, well, she didn't mean that. He didn't mean that. It was, I'm just too sensitive. I'm just not, it's my fault. Overlook harmful things that others have done to us. Yes. You say, oh, well, it wasn't that bad. It only cost me a few months of my life to get over this. I'll be fine. It's no big deal. Taking more blame than is necessary. Never take more blame than is absolutely necessary. Assume that your feelings are not valid. And assume, finally, that you don't deserve care, love, and attention. Because absolutely every one of us deserves that. Bingo. So there we go. Those are my stolen wise words for today. I was actually going to steal somebody's video, but I decided it was safer just to take notes. I think they did a far better presentation, and but hey, it's my show. I can do it the hard way. Comments here. Did any of the things on that list make you say, "Yeah, I do that sometimes"?
And that's why I always turn it off. I go through Twitter
Mm-hmm.
sometimes and I read some of the stuff that's put out there, and then I read the comments, and then I'm like, holy crap.
Yes.
There's people that think that way.
Uh-huh.
There's people, we're not too far removed from the fact that if you didn't wear a mask out in grocery store, that people were ready to have you arrested and stoned and shot in the parking
Oh
lot.
yes. Well, there was
And
something.
that's how much gaslighting. Good Lord.
But okay, in that particular example with the masks, yes, there was something that came up just today. Oh, okay. The news story of today. We can't arrest, indict, or bother any of these people for the January 6th thing because we've got an election coming up. They could be running for office. We can't do that. That would be political. Are you fucking...
Well, where did all the text messages go? They got all deleted.
Next time, no, they found those. They get them tomorrow. Some tech guy said, oh, no, you can't do that. I found them. Here, come here, pick these up.
I was fixing to say, if the company that I work for,
Mm-hmm.
if there were a few emails that we knew that were sent and they
Mm-hmm.
didn't make it, and we can pick up the phone and say, hey, find
Yeah.
these. 2 minutes later, we've got them all.
Yeah. Yeah. That the internet isn't built that way. But the people that were writing that reply to a subpoena said, "Oh, gee, the dog ate my lunch. Oh well, we just pumped the dog's stomach. No problem. We could tell for sure what you had for lunch."
Too bad they didn't do that with Hillary's emails.
But they did.
Mhm.
But they
And
did.
we'll never know about it.
But they did. Yes.
Oh, I
It's not.
know they did.
It's not that they technically couldn't. They
Mhm,
did. They did.
mhm. And we'll
It
never know.
was never. And we'll never know what was on there, if anything,
Mm.
whatever.
And there was plenty, there
I'm sure
was.
there was. I'm
You
sure there
can't
was.
do, you can't have what happened happen and there not be a trail. Excuse me, but she didn't get prosecuted for
Yep.
having all those people killed. So, oh well. Next.
Anyway, I did. That was such good news to hear that late last. But I've seen very little of that on the news today. But that was late last night that story broke. I thought, ooh, I know what happened. Da, 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 da. So where was I before I got off on that?
Oh, where our discussion was, or no?
Yes,
You don't
but
know.
it was no. The thing is, if you read the comments on YouTube or to our news article, whatever, the black and white, day and night kind of opinions about things. It's not. You can ignore. Yeah, you could cut and paste the comments, 90% of them, from any article about anything directly to anything else, and it would read exactly the same. It would have just as much meaning. It's like they didn't read the article at all, assuming there are any facts in the article. Sometimes there are, sometimes there aren't. And you have to be very careful about what you look at and consider as facts. But anyway, uh,
Oh, Ufi's got one in there. Does anyone believe that the loss of Secret Service email/phone data on January 6th was an accident?
oh
Which
yes,
you've,
yes. It was probably just an accident. I'm sure it was. It was. I'm sure it happens all the time. Uh, I don't want it to happen all the time. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was accidental, perhaps. It isn't like somebody actually said, "Oh, collect up all the Secret Service cell phones and have them brought to my office, and then had them shredded, and just send them out new ones." Uh, they wouldn't have done something like that. But then some poor innocent tech guy said, "Well, wait, if they were looking for these, I've got the hard copies right here of everything that went on the air. Is this what they were looking for? Is this what you're looking for, Senator? I got them right here." That's just great. I think so. As intrusive as this whole thing is, okay, and I gave it up before these things existed. Any thoughts of having any privacy whatsoever? I said in the 90s, really in the 90s, I was heavily into learning how to sleuth on the internet. and on cell phones and that kind of thing as they were just coming into existence. And what I learned told me that very soon, and this was in 1990, there would be no privacy left, really. And it's here. And we can either make use of it for good or make use of it for evil. Because, like, you can't hide it anymore. Okay? If in a totally open world, if I wanted to look up an email that I sent back in like 1987, I think that's my first email. I could theoretically, I mean, I don't have it on a hard drive anywhere, but it's out there on the cloud somewhere, you know? And if they wanted it bad enough, they could find it. I mean, it's on the server in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they could probably find it in like 3 minutes.
I got tickled, Jason. For the record, my opinions and goofball comments are my own and do not reflect anything on Charles, aka my father. Love you, Dad.
Thank you, son. I've done the best I can. Oh, we don't agree. We don't agree either, and I love it. But we have honest conversations, and that
Okay,
I
so
do like.
there's one. Okay, so Twitter. I just pulled it
Mhm.
up.
Okay.
I want to ask you how much of the Hunter Biden thing did anybody pay attention to before the election? There was a lot of people that knew nothing about it, that it was even a
What the
topic,
fact? Okay, which the knowns or the unknowns?
that it even was in the news. Doesn't matter about what we know or what we don't know.
Yes.
The fact that it
Right?
was ever even in the news. There was a poll taken.
Yeah.
Don't know by who. We know these
Yeah.
polls just need to be
The
used by
polls,
strippers and that's it.
the polls that say that no, actually, it'd be higher than that now. But there used to be who's the president?
Mhm. And they're like people are like 50% people don't know.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
Okay.
um there was the media shut that up.
Okay. It didn't
They
get.
had a
It
lid on
didn't
that.
get. It didn't get
Now
probably the.
it got nothing. And
Yeah.
and
Right.
so there's the New York Times and the New York Post.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Post broke that story and they laid it out. I mean, they laid it
No,
out.
that came out of
Or
New
was it
York.
the Times?
It was the. I thought it was the New York Post. It
It was the
originally got
Post.
the computer. The shop owner took the computer
They
to them,
laid out all that
and then
story.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
and they sent a copy to the FBI or gave it to the FBI. Okay,
But anyways,
then
that story came out and that was before
mm-hmm,
the election.
mm-hmm,
The Times comes out and I mean I mean they denied it. I think Twitter even banned the Post there for a while. Suspended their account. They were not allowed to. So there you go. Even though but now whether any of this is true or not, I'm not getting into that.
right,
Um had that been Donald Trump Jr., it'd have been all over the media.
uh,
Every bit of it would have been. Nobody would have been banned on Twitter. It would have been shouted from the highest mountaintop by
mm-hmm,
every MSM, and it would have been nonstop. there would have been federal investigations into it to see what Daddy got out of this, if Daddy benefited from anything that Junior had done. But because this happened to somebody that was running against.
You don't remember Billy Beer, do you?
I do. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, do you
But
remember Billy?
I'm just
You
saying.
remember Billy was in great trouble because of some shenanigans that he pulled, on him. But
Oh yeah, I
see,
remember that.
I look at it as the same thing. Okay.
But that's
Sure.
that's what I'm
Billy
they were
put away
wanting.
a few $1 million along
Well, but the
along the
sad
way
part
there.
about it is that Jimmy Carter sucked as a president anyways, and everybody wanted his fucking ass out.
A lot of people still think he's given.
Well, a lot of people think Biden's a god too, but
I won't go that far.
well, there's a lot of people that do. I mean, I've got a dear friend that he
Okay.
thinks this
Why?
man shit don't stink.
What do you know about that you dislike about Carter?
I remember what I remember at
Yes.
my age, dear,
Mhm.
at my little young age at that time was how much interest rates were,
Mhm.
mortgage interest rates.
Mhm.
And then, of course, everybody else was
And the
racking
price
up
of
on
gas.
the CD rates.
Yes. Okay.
Just
Does the,
the inflation.
does the president of the United States control those things?
Hey, dude, I didn't take this shit in college.
Anyway.
All I know is that, I mean, you look at it, it's like they've got they've got something going on because if they can fuck up a country that much
Yes.
and then leave office and somebody else
And
comes in and it takes a
and
while.
leave those damn hostages over there sitting for 446 days.
Man, I do remember that. I really do. As young as I was, I
Yes.
remember that. And I
Yes.
just could not understand. I mean, even my dad, my dad was a registered Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think his whole family has been. And through all of that, he couldn't understand. And my daddy was a very well educated man.
I
I
know.
mean, but this was something he couldn't wrap his head around.
Nope.
That whole thing, that whole 4 years of him being in office, he couldn't understand how they could destroy a country that damn quick.
Yes. Yes.
And then, and when you do that, it takes a while to come back. I mean, I looked at my 401k, it come in. I should have cashed the damn thing out and sat on it. I could have paid taxes on that less than what I lost just in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to talk about the 3 months prior because it wasn't as bad. But I'm just, I could have paid taxes on that and lost less.
Yeah. We're being gaslit. We were being I mean, okay, this is not new. Okay, that's the whole point. We are being lied to from one side to the other side, and not a one of us knows what's really going on. I don't care. Okay, I'm going to use this for a bad example. Joe Biden doesn't know what's really going on. Okay, and neither does Donald Trump. Okay, nobody, because it's so damn tied together and so complicated, and there are so many hands pulling the strings behind the curtains. I don't know if you could prove anybody knows what's going on. But I will say this this I absolutely believe. It's not a it's an intentional program to defame this country, to turn us all into paupers, because they don't like a strong, independent population. They don't. And they decided many years ago that they weren't going to put up with that shit anymore, that they were taking their rightful place guiding society the way they wanted to. So
It just, and it's like I keep talking about the comments I see on Twitter. And you can definitely tell people that have not lived a life like we have. That'd be Jason.
yeah.
They didn't see Trump coming. He was not supposed to win. And they'll tell you he
Oh,
was not.
he was.
You heard that over and over again.
Oh, I have said that
He was
again and
not
again
supposed
and
to win.
again. No, no. They had this platform. They had the wheels on it. They had the horses hooked up, and it was ready for Jeb Bush or whoever else they were going to brought up on stage, who was going to proceed and take them off to victory. And Donald Trump jumped on stage, grabbed that fucking reins, and said, "Yeah, we're going to have fun." And
you know what? That's what America wanted.
I can't believe that the powers that be let him get away with that. I was absolutely
shocked. And I would love to know. And they probably figured it's like, okay, let's write out these 4 years. Let's just write out these 4 years.
No, not enough.
Well, something happened.
Look at the senator from South Carolina who just had, and others. Okay, who was a neighbor of Trump in New York? Someone we've all heard of. His last name was Epstein. I didn't hang myself Epstein. He was he was also a member at Mar-a-Lago for a while. After he had served his 24 months or 18 months of supervised stay-at-home for his earlier case of taking sexual advantage of young girls. That was stuffed under the table, absolutely stuffed into non-existence. But he was still a member at Mar-a-Lago. Okay? He only got thrown out of Mar-a-Lago because he tried to recruit one of the members' granddaughter. Okay? I mean, I often wondered when they shut down that operation in Miami that Epstein was running and its island, whatever happened to all the tapes, because they were never found.
Oh, the FBI's got them, and they lost them.
It would not be a total surprise to me if Trump had not seen a few of those. Okay, that's the kind of thing. It's the kind of thing that Epstein would have been proud to share with his friend.
But how
powerful he was. Okay,
right.
Knowing that is as a lever. Look, it explains a lot of really crazy things that have happened over the past 6 years. And it's the only thing. In fact, in some cases, it's the only thing that makes sense. But I'm just a crazy old coot.
Well, but see, and that's you look at, of course, we're flyover country. We mean nothing.
Sure.
But a lot of people, you can put two and two together like that if they're not mentally preset to whatever the news is spewing out to them.
Mhm.
Some people will discuss a situation. Other people, their minds are set. The
Yes.
media has said,
Oh no,
this is what's going on.
it couldn't be that. It has to be
Yeah,
what they just told me. It's not that. They just told
right.
me it's this.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't question them. They are the all and powerful Oz.
Mhm.
You know.
And see, that's like the Post came out with that story.
Yep.
Twitter deleted them, wouldn't let them post anything.
Right.
That story was squashed everywhere. Nobody could post anything about Hunter Biden. They were all suspended. Twitter, Facebook, it didn't matter. That subject was not allowed to come out nor be discussed. Afterwards, 2 years into Biden, the New York Times comes out with, oh, yeah, guess what? This is what's happened. And the reason that they did it was because the story got so big and other places were talking about it that they finally had to come out and go and run their own story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but here we go. It's like it's too late now. So now you're finding out all of
It's
these
not
details
almost.
between
It's yes. It's too late.
between daddy and son
Mhm.
and this government and that government, and they were buying artwork from Hunter and
Oh,
all these other different
that's a
things.
whole nother topic. There is a
Exactly.
there that is one of the big cogs in the
Mhm,
money laundering world.
mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
it's up there
and
with
that's like the big.
jewels and real estate.
Oh, yeah, well, the Clinton
You know?
Foundation,
Oh God, yes.
all
Oh
of
my
it.
yes. You know.
If you wanna pay off another government, run it through a nonprofit
Yep.
that
Very
has.
very little oversight.
Mhm,
Very almost no
exactly.
oversight. Certainly
And the
no
thing
tax.
about it
It's a nonprofit.
is that
So it's
everybody knows
liability
about
free.
it. Everybody knows about it. All of the information has been released, but yet there's nothing being done. We're not
Well,
our
that's
government's
what
not
they came
doing
out with
anything.
today. You're
Mhm,
not the Merrick Garland and Bill Barr have both ruled as attorney generals of the United States of two different parties have realized that well we can't do that. That's political. We can't prosecute these people. They're political. That would be that would be that would be a political. They might think we're pursuing some kind of political crime, which we're not allowed to do. So just because people think that or could think that, we're not going to do that because it just doesn't look right. So just go have go
We just
tell.
want our politicians we just want all of our politicians in prison, in the main population,
Yes,
and let them sort them out. Just saying. We
wouldn't
need
that
term
wouldn't
limits.
that wouldn't take more than a week. But
Oh, let me
anyway,
tell you something. I found a show that I'm in love with, and
oh my
it's
God,
a horrible
oh
show.
God,
Oh, it's almost around
the
the.
shades of Cluthu.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
But it's not as bad as The Sopranos, but it's close enough. But it's called Mayor of
okay.
Kingstown, and it's on Paramount. And I'd heard really good things about it. Another show I was addicted to was The Sopranos, which ran years and years ago. And I swear to God, if you've never watched that series, you absolutely have to do it. But anyway, great actors in there. I think half of them are dead now. But anyway, but this has to deal. I mean, it deals with kind of like the city. Kingston is a prison town, and um you've got the the Bloods and the Crips, and they control what's going on in the prisons. And if you want good things to happen outside of the prisons, you better be good to certain prisoners. And there's one office that deals with all of that. And it's,
Mhm.
of course, it's a criminal that runs the office.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's something, it's very interesting. You've got to watch it. I've got to rewatch it. It's kind of like The Outer Range. I want to rewatch that again and keep that in my head until season 2 comes out. Because that's just flipping awesome to me.
Yeah.
That's what we need. And I like, you've been talking about the news stuff that's come out today and stuff like that. I
Mhm.
haven't looked at the news. I just pulled up that on Twitter, but I've not paid attention to any news probably in over 2 weeks, and I'm just not
Good
going
for
to.
you. Good for you. I have
I'm just not.
I'm trying to quit because I realize it's not good for me.
No, because you get
Okay.
gaslighted, and I'm just, I mean, I need to
Yeah,
know that if I've got a prisoner loose around here and I need to
yes.
get my guns loaded or whatever, but
Mhm.
other than that,
Yeah.
I don't care anymore because it's not the truth. I swear to you, they could tell me that UFOs landed on the White House lawn, and I'm like, you're full of shit. You're just trying to divert us
Yes.
from whatever else
Oh,
crap
yeah.
you're pulling.
Which side of the White House and what was going on the other side? That's what I
Yeah,
want. I
how
want
did
to
the
hear.
secret?
I want to see what happened over there. I don't want to see this shit show. I
Yeah.
want to see what's really important. You know?
So, and it's like, how did the Secret Service allow that to happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, how many of those were abducted? I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go get more bourbon
Or
before
did
you
they? Or
get
did
done
they just
today.
march? Or did they just march out to the mothership and stand in formation and salute? You know?
What was
Welcome
that
home.
movie
Welcome
that
home.
had? What was that movie with Jack Nicholson in it? I think he was president. Mars Attacks.
Mars attacks. Yes.
Oh God, that's
Made
exactly
a
what
great
we
video.
need.
Made a great video game too.
Oh, I missed that. I think I was too old for that. I think I had a child by that time, and I didn't have time for video games anymore. But it just gets worse and worse. And of course, and then what was it? Oh, I had a YouTube video playing of something that I wanted to listen to, and then something started playing after that got done.
Mhm.
And they were talking about, no, yeah. It was Civil War. We're going to be in Civil War again. I'm like,
Oh yes.
oh, Jesus
Hmm.
Christ. You can't, you can't do the North and the South in this Civil War. This
No,
is going to be,
there is
there is no
no
North and South
inside
in this.
inside households. Okay?
Yes,
There'll
exactly.
be the shootout between the living room and the kitchen.
Yeah, you're right. But it's like, okay, so is this the plot to the book The Stand, where everybody has this dream and everybody moves out west and they got to go to the little old black woman that they were dreaming of, or Jack
Cornfield.
Flanagan or whatever
Cornfield.
his name was.
Hmm.
I mean, they had a pandemic, and I was like, oh, yeah. Stephen King was like bringing in the money because that people were buying that book then.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that was a super flu or something. But I tell you what, I don't pay attention to Stephen King and his
Well, he's done that. He's done that.
political views or anything, but The
What was the one
Stand
where
was
it
a
was the
great
aliens
book.
in northern New York that were trying to get something into the water supply? Ah, can't remember. Can't remember. Winter scene where the five men were hunting in northern New York and aliens landed.
Oh, I don't know.
It was pretty gross.
Can you see that? Nope. There's the baby.
Oh,
And there's one of the dogs stretching
cuteness,
out.
cuteness, cuteness, cuteness
Yeah.
overload.
Two giant schnauzers and a baby. I swear. That's what we need is kids overload. But, there was another gaslighting thing that happened. It was when COVID first came out and they decided that cats and dogs were the
Oh,
spread of this, and
yes.
everybody was dumping their fucking animals, and I got one because of that. But, I mean, people were that stupid. You've had
Yeah.
that animal for years, and then all of a sudden, you get this stupid news story saying that, "Oh, cats and dogs are testing positive for COVID." How
What was the first?
was it the Kardashians that caused everybody to just become that fucking stupid? I'm just
Uh,
reality TV, the bullshit on him. What happened?
it had to have taken longer than that, right?
No, I'm kinda thinking it started with MTV when and The Real World, the reality shows
Oh,
that come
yes,
out. I'm kinda
yes.
thinking, because I
You
turned
know
that
what I'm
off. I was
telling
like,
you? Because
"That is
that's
not a
about
real
that's
world."
about the time I totally gave up on anything that had anything to do with television.
It
Was
just
the real
when did
world.
people become so damn stupid that there's no common sense? There's no what happened? Is it the fluoride in the water?
When
I mean,
no,
I've been
when
drinking the
you
same shit for
when
years, but
when you have the ability to dictate reality to a certain proportion of the population,
mhm,
that's all it takes. I mean that look, this is the real world. This is the way you should live. This is the way it should be for you. Did any of those fucking people have jobs? Okay. Oh yeah. Did they have, beyond being a reality TV show star? How did My God, do something with your life. You know, the,
I
the
know
the drama becomes the whole story, and the world is more than just drama.
I know that each generation wants their children to not have to live as hard of a life as they did. Like my grandmother didn't want my mother to have to work in a shirt factory and take care of a garden and sell vegetables and
Yep.
I mean I know we do that each time, but I swear whatever the soccer mom thing was that happened was what turned this damn world upside down. And that was in the 90s because I can remember my son was a baby and I was like, "Oh god, these bitches are crazy," which now they're called Karens, I think.
Okay. Well,
But it was this political correctness movement that hit so bad, and it was, I can remember I mean, it was the word retard. That was the one that stuck out in
oh
my
yeah,
head the most. If a child was retarded, I mean,
they were
that's
they were special. They weren't.
right, right, but they were called
I hate to tell you this, but when they had special students back
mhm.
in the late '60s, early '70s, that meant gifted. Okay,
Yes, but
and
then
they
they
took that
changed
word,
that.
they stole that word
Mhm.
and moved it to the other end of the spectrum, and that's a that's a theft of language.
It is. It really is.
I mean,
I
and
mean, it's
once you
taken a
once
whole new
you
life.
isn't that the story of the Tower of Babel,
Mhm.
when
Mhm. Yes.
they confused their language to the point where
Mhm.
they could not communicate with each other,
Yep.
and that was the downfall.
Mhm. Right.
That's what they were doing.
So
That's what they're. They are not creative. They are
mm-mm.
not innovative. They run the same play. They've been running the same playbook that's only this thick
Mhm.
for 6,000 years. I think it's time for us
But your
to.
16-year-old doesn't know that.
True.
Your
And you,
son's posting comments in here, and he's got one in here that says they removed cursive writing. Why? Because they don't want anybody to know how
because
the
it's
hell to
hard for the
read
AI
the
to read
founding.
cursive writing. Okay.
They don't want anybody to be able to read history, the calligraphy.
That too.
They don't want anybody to be able to read that. The founding documents, they don't want anybody to read that stuff. I mean, that's pretty much what it is in a nutshell. And shame on parents that are not teaching their kids how to write cursive. That's not a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm. I I just speak for myself. My cursive is terrible.
Oh my
And
God, my
actually,
handwriting's horrible.
and trying to read it, trying to
Hmm.
read it is really a chore. I can still do it, but it's a chore for me. Okay.
Yeah, I have to take my
I got
time.
hooked on the keyboards so much better,
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
Yes.
I had you froze up on my side, but anyways, I just I can remember when I was in school, they graded you on handwriting. That was
Yes.
a
Oh yeah.
class. That was a class,
Mhm.
and I never could get anything higher than a C. I mean, I just could not do it exactly as they wanted to. And if I have to handwrite something
Mhm.
to where you can read it, it's going
Oh
to
my
take me
God.
a long time to put it there. I can print it quicker,
I
but for
remember
some
one
reason,
boy in our class whose handwriting was absolutely beautiful, beautiful, graceful, and I was so jealous. I was so jealous because mine was terrible,
but you
no matter
can't
how hard I
copy it.
tried.
Yeah,
No.
and that's the wildest thing. Why can't you copy it?
Mhm. Okay. Okay, let this one
It- It's
out.
it's
Yes. It is. It is more of an art development, and it is individualized. It's difficult for uh, the AI, to read cursive, and I think that's one of the reasons that it's not being phased out. Yes,
yeah.
sadly. Ah.
Goofy's cracking me up.
Oh, what now?
Society of mirrors trying to reflect the light of whoever has a candle.
Ooh,
And then, of course, I curse you letters A through Z. You're so correct. And but anyways, I don't know. They're trying to erase history. They're trying to change it. They're removing statues. They're putting out a narrative. And all of these kids are believing this stuff because parents are too stupid because they're old. They don't really know whatever happened. Um, do when these kids go to college, it's following the same narrative. Does something happen that wakes some of these kids up? Because by now you'd think we'd be overran. Do you think some of them just kind of go, "Whoa, wait a minute"? Because I can remember
I think
hearing,
I don't. I think trying to live that lifestyle, that real world lifestyle,
Mhm.
draws them in and spits them out, and they become disengaged. They're the 40% of people. They're a chunk of the 40% of people that do not vote, that do not care, saying it doesn't matter what and they understand that it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what I
It is
want.
true.
I'm never going to be up here with the puppet masters. So I'm just going to enjoy things as much as I can and let it go at that. And they disengage. I wish they didn't do that.
Yeah.
But if they did, if they came back into the political process and understood it enough to say, we can make this work, okay, after some fashion, as compared to just giving up. I can't. I'm old, okay, but as old as I am, I can't give up on life. I can't give up on the concept of freedom, of free expression, of the creativity of people that have created, that have gone from horse and buggy to robots on Mars in 130 years. Okay? We did, damn it, they didn't do this. We did this. Okay? Every damn one of us did that. Not the kings, not the queens, okay? Not the priests. We did this. And this is a big, beautiful experiment in creativity. And there is nothing that is beyond us. We can do whatever we set our mind to do. And as long as we're working it together. And that is what scares them, that terrorizes their dreams. That we will come to realize that simple truth.
What was it? Japan said that they would not invade because we all have weapons.
Yes.
That's not the exact quote.
The quote, I think, is, we cannot invade the United States homeland because there would be a rifle behind every blade of grass.
And if you've noticed, they've really tried to change that too.
Well, there's so far, there's still a lot of grass out there. Okay.
There really is. There is.
Yes. Okay.
Oh gosh, there was something I saw one time, and I think I kept it. And so I'm gonna have to go through my phone and check all my memes. But it was absolutely perfect. And it had to do with weapons and religion. The two things you're never supposed to put anything together.
Okay.
I don't know if I can found it this morning, and I should have marked it. But what it came down to, how many AK 15s or AR-15s would
AR-15s or AK-47s?
yeah.
Okay. Jesus.
How many would Jesus have owned? And it said apparently not enough to keep him from his government killing him.
Well, I don't know if he exactly quoted, beat your swords into plowshares, but they want, see, I don't argue people's religious beliefs at all if I can avoid it, but
No, I don't either.
I will read their own stories back to them. And They
I think
wanted
that meme just
wanted Jesus.
came.
They wanted Jesus to lead a revolution, and he told them no, that was
Mhm,
not the way to do it.
mhm. But and with that meme, it just kinda goes to the fact that it's like they want to take away your guns,
Mhm.
and when the government does that, then they start
But
plowing
I,
down them
I, so I
citizens.
see. I'm not Jesus, but I've read his work as much as what little bit they've
Yeah,
allowed to be filtered down to us over the centuries.
yeah. I think somebody had put that out there, and somebody said, you know, like, what would he do if he had that gun? And he's like, he didn't own enough to keep his own government from killing him.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and that's a very good point too. It's just we have those things to protect us. Yes, you've got people that are unstable,
We
that
don't
are
need that.
mentally,
That's the
they
point.
don't.
That's the point.
Mhm.
Really?
And that's the
We don't
bad
need
thing.
that.
You can't.
Do you know what the biggest weapon we have is collectively as human beings, as in 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 all over the world? It's right here, right in front of you. We have communication. Okay. The second thing is we have these. We have a mouth, a billion mouths saying no more. That is their greatest fear.
Right.
No
And right
more.
now they have us so many people
Yes,
just snowed, and it's
absolutely brainwashed.
mhm. Yeah, that's the bad part of every bit of it.
Because generally we don't want much. I don't want $1 million. Okay. I don't want a shiny Rolls Royce. I don't want a yacht. Hell, I'm not even sure I want a canoe anymore. Okay. But I know there are things that left that I don't want, you know, and I want people to respect each other as we do here. I want people to listen to each other because nobody, not one of us, not me, not Maria, not nobody has all the answers. It's a big life is a big complicated puzzle, and none of us have all the pieces, and that's the way it should be, I guess. And but now we have the ability to put a lot more of the puzzle together than anyone has ever had in the history of the world. And it's not them that has it; it's us that has them because we want to know what the puzzle says. They don't want to understand the puzzle. They want to write their own story, okay, rather than the actual history, okay. And ooh, that wasn't a bad sermon, but it was a bit of a rant.
Just a tad.
Just a tiny bit. Okay, I thought it was. I
Just
thought
a
it was. I thought it was. I thought it was somewhat uplifting, but we'll just let it go at that.
there at the end, maybe.
Okay. Oh my God.
And it's like Eufy says, it's like, well, crap, if one of y'all don't have all of the answer, then why the hell are we still paying
Because
attention?
you think we might have the piece that you've been looking for,
Mm, I don't know.
right?
I'm not, none of us are here to judge anybody else.
No.
And that's the thing. You live your life and I'll live mine. Just don't tell me how I'm supposed to live my life.
Mhm.
Don't tell me who I'm supposed to um, pay homage to. I don't care. I had to deal, we've got Pride Month. Whoop-de shit. I don't care. I mean, good for you, but I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care how you live your life. I don't care if you are a same-sex household and you have 20 freaking children. I don't care. No. You've given somebody a home.
Mhm.
You've adopted children and you've
Yes.
given them a home.
Yes.
As and
A
it's
a good loving home.
exactly
Kudos.
something that
I'll give
those
you a medal.
children didn't
I'll give you a
have.
medal. You know,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
hang it on your chest, and walk proudly down the street, hand
But
in hand. I don't
but don't
care.
but don't tell me that I have to change my complete lifestyle to accommodate 1% of the population? 10%? Well, I mean, I don't know, and I don't care. I'm just saying, don't shove this shit down my throat. And that's what they do. That's what they do.
No,
That's what the media does with
you mean
everything.
by insisting that they might want to get married?
I don't give a shit.
Okay, so get okay. Marriage is okay.
I don't
Uh,
care. I don't care what you do.
yes.
Stop shoving it down my damn throat. I don't care. I don't care. You know? I don't, and that has to, and this even goes with oh gosh,
Oh God.
anything.
Mhm. Mhm.
Don't tell me um okay, so this is like the big support groups and things like that. People
Oh,
paying money to support Ukraine? Are you kidding
okay.
me? Have you not just seen how much money our government has sent to them? And then you want me
Me as a
to donate to them? Nope.
uh,
I've just did. You've just taken a shit ton of my money that
mhm.
our government had to print because we don't have it. And our inflation has gone up 9%. Oh, by the way, gas prices came down $1 a gallon. Whoopty. Keep bringing it down. Keep bringing it down.
Mhm.
Because my cost of living has shot up so much.
Mm. Oh yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so what's my next step? And then my 401k has fallen. My retirement. You're taking fucking money away from me that's mine, and I'm a dumbass to keep giving it to you. Taxes, taxation's theft. Just
Mhm.
saying. And I can argue all day long on that. I'm sorry. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh.
you're going to put me in prison because I didn't pay for your way of life.
Ooh.
I didn't pay for your welfare. I didn't pay for your food stamps. I didn't pay. I would, if they would put a 15% across the board on everybody,
Mhm.
but they don't want to do that because they might be able to get more money from you than they will the next guy. It would be a stable budget of money that would be coming in, and God knows our government can't run on a stable budget. Do they even know what a budget is? No.
Oh, sure. They write one every year.
And then they overspend it.
It's
We can't
yeah.
do that.
It's never well. No. 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 That's not true. I think
That we can do that.
there's a certain small percentage of the budgeted funds
Hmm.
that no matter how hard they try, there are a few departments left in the government that can't spend it all. So it's left
So they
over.
cut that budget.
It's left over at the end of the year, and theoretically it gets returned, but it never does. But
Hmm.
theoretically, on the books, it gets returned to the government. Really, seriously.
Yep. I can remember.
But they can only buy so many paper clips.
Maybe they need a few more UFO parts
Ooh,
for that
right.
propulsion system that they
That's
can't
true.
quite figure out
That's
yet.
true.
But and I can remember and a news story, do not remember which president was in, but they were raising nine kinds because he had cut the budget for school lunches.
Okay.
And they were just like, oh my God, there's kids that's never going to be able to eat, blah, blah, blah. But what had happened is that what it got cut by
Mhm.
was what the amount that was not spent
Oh, does that
over
sound?
so many
That,
years.
that sounds something like they're gonna defund the police.
So if it was
How
not
many? How
spent,
many? How many? How
it
many
got out.
police? How many police budgets were cut?
Yeah, I'm not going
More
there.
than every damn police, every damn major.
Mhm.
Okay, I can't say everyone, but
No, you
every
can't.
major police department in the United States
hmm
got a raise. Okay.
Mm,
Yeah.
everybody gets a
Their budget.
raise.
Their budget. Not individual patrol people. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. I was fixing to say.
Administrations, administrations and training
Mhm,
and
mhm,
all the overhead and the PR people
mhm,
take the whole budget. Okay. They
mhm.
all got raises. There was a raise.
And how
And it
many
was on the books.
officers quit during that time and they had that over? There's police departments are very understaffed because of the circumstances that all of them are going, you know what? I'm not
Well,
going to be that
I'm not
guy.
going to put up with that anymore.
I'm not going to be
Yes.
that guy.
Now,
There
now,
was,
now, do you want to? Now, do you want to? You'd like to hear something very surprising out of me. I think the good ones are
do I
leaving.
need to hold on?
The good ones are leaving, and the fucking fascists are the ones that are still there. The bullies and the fascists and the assholes are the ones that are
Mhm.
still there.
The bad part is that now they're not going to do anything. Cops have pulled way back. I mean, they can't. They can't afford it. And it's to pull somebody over now for just a regular traffic stop. I mean, you've really got to think about that. You've really got to think about doing that because they just ran a stop sign. Okay, so you pull them over. What's this going to turn out to be? Is this going to be, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it, I wasn't paying attention? Or is this going to turn out to be,
A
well, you
shootout.
only pulled me over because I am whatever.
Mhm.
And then here we go. And so, no, you're going to get down to law enforcement that's going to say, you know what? It's not worth it. A- And what state is it that there's a, is it Illinois? There's a clause that they can't pursue anybody? Or is it,
There are several municipalities that have outlawed that because of the cost.
they won't, they won't pursue
In
them.
police lives, in civilian lives, it's a
Mhm,
stolen car. We'll find it in the
mhm,
morning when it's abandoned somewhere, and we can't do anything with the juvenile that's driving it
mhm,
anyway.
mhm.
I understand. I understand that. It's not worth.
Doesn't matter that
It's not worth
that it's an
driving.
escaped convict from a
No,
prison
it doesn't.
that's stolen a vehicle. You're not allowed to chase them.
If he's gonna drive 140 miles an hour
Mhm.
into a busload of kids, I'm not gonna chase him. It's a
You've
matter
gotta,
of judgment.
well, but see, and that also depends. It's like, you've got somebody that's escaped from jail, that's a murderer, rapist, whatever, both.
Yeah, he's
You
got
just let them
the
go.
worst weapon in the United States
Mhm.
under his butt, cocked and locked.
You let them
I just
go,
put on the gas pedal.
and they just disappear, ditch a vehicle, take off. Never see them.
Catch him when they.
When he kills 3 people, God, we could go on with this forever. Stop it. It's not
No.
good. We're not gonna do this.
Okay.
We're not
So
doing
anyway,
this.
what are we talking about? Budgeting. Yes, budgeting.
I don't know. Let's go back to puppies and unicorns and rainbows.
Please, puppies. Come here, puppy. Come here. Come. Uh,
You know, and I had a friend of mine that I knew, I mean, since we were little, and his wife and daughter were run over by somebody that was
I
being
know.
chased by the police.
Or,
So
or a drunk driver. It's not. It doesn't matter.
it's one
It's
or
the
the
same
other.
thing. You got to be.
So and what they were why they were trying to pull him over was not just some kind of minor, oh, you've got a brake light out. It
Uh-huh.
wasn't anything like that. This guy was very much wanted.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been stuck in traffic and I've had a police chase. I mean, I've been at a stoplight and see the lights coming up behind me, and then you see this one erratic driver, and then you're just like going, well, here goes my insurance rates.
Mhm.
Um, he missed me. I mean, he went down into the ditch and was able to get around me, and all the other vehicles that were at the side. But I mean, it's like, what do you do? I mean, and if okay, so and then if they didn't stop this person and they went on and they killed like 5 people just as a because for shits and giggles, then the police are gonna get a bad name because they didn't bother to stop this person.
Maria, they already have a solution to this.
What, just shoot them on sight?
No,
Oh, what?
the switch.
Hmm,
Does your car have internet yet? Almost all the new ones do.
mine's older.
So is mine. I like it that way.
Mine
But I'm telling you,
I get it. I
hey,
get it. I
within
understand it.
10 years, they will have. Oh, okay. They'll look at their dash. They'll say, okay, this is car number
Mhm.
14
Such
digits.
and such, yeah.
Turn that one off for me, please. And it's off.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Ooh,
and I get it. I understand it, but it's just
I am telling you, not only they will be able to do that.
no, I
I mean,
know.
yeah,
Oh, I know. I know. What I'm saying is that right now,
and we will say, thank you, Lord, for making the roads safer.
yeah.
Okay,
But I'm just saying as of right
until we
now
need to
and
go to the grocery,
before,
until we need to go to the grocery store, and we have to call and ask permission first.
exactly.
Yeah,
But I'm just saying, before it's like, okay, so they call off a chase, but this guy went on and he killed like 5 or 6 different people
yeah.
on down the thing, and then they blame the police. So they're gonna blame them whether they chase them or they don't. Doesn't matter.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just that's just how it is. It's hindsight's 2020, and what can we gaslight everybody with? Get 'em, Yuffie.
See, creative solutions. That's what we need. More
Yeah.
creative solutions.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, you got a pretty good rant. You've gone over a little over an hour today, so yeah.
Then I promised I'd be good today.
You
See?
were compared to our discussion beforehand.
Oh well, yes.
Discussion beforehand, yeah, I was a little scared.
Yes. All that good,
Mhm.
all those fine topics that are so relevant in our world. The things that they want us to think are important,
Mhm.
when the real things that are important is being kind to the people around you,
Mhm.
being respectful of the people you have contact with, and remembering that you know we are. I've come to like this. Don't know that I necessarily agree with it, but I've got some good personal evidence, okay, that we are a spiritual being enjoying a physical existence.
Enjoying? Is that the word you really
Yes.
want to?
Oh, do you think did they force it? Did they force us to come back? Did they
I'm
crack
beginning
the?
to wonder.
No, I think
I
you're.
mean, I'm enjoying.
I
I've
think.
enjoyed.
I think we're supposed to enjoy this, and and,
I
and
think it. You think it's
believe
up
me,
to us?
there have been days and times when I did not enjoy it, but
Well, the
lessons
good
learned.
days.
Lessons learned.
The good days kind of outweigh the bad.
Mhm.
It's just the bad that is what l- luggage you
We're built
carry
that
with you
way.
through life.
The threats and the bad things, okay, are always get higher priority because that's just the way we're built. Okay.
All I know is I've had a great past year. This past year's been, it's not been a full year, but I mean it's been pretty fun. It's
See,
been pretty interesting.
see,
And
the universe,
Ufi,
the universe has been kind to you this year.
you know what? It sucked that it took 52 years for it to fucking happen.
Hey, this is true. This is
Ufi says all future guests must be required to take Bitch Fest 101 before appearing on the show. I don't think, are we ever going to have a guest? Do you think we can have a
uh,
guest that can bitch
actually,
with us?
actually, actually, that has someone brought that up with me today, and
Oh,
a friend of mine.
okay.
Are you going to have guests?
Are they coming on?
Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe. Depends on how persuasive I am.
Can they take my humor?
Oh, I think they'll manage. They put up with my rants well enough. I think they can stand your
Yeah. We would get along. We would get along really good. Hmm.
There's something that I saw today.
Pan stars.
The big giant comet that's out about Saturn or something. Big,
Mhm.
big, big giant comet.
Oh, is that coming to hit us, Charles? Is that another
Well,
near asteroid
uh,
that's coming to wipe us
not
assets out?
it's never gonna get much closer than it is now. I mean, maybe a couple 100 million miles out of a billion, but
Did I
uh,
tell you I have a telescope now?
no. Oh my.
A friend of mine, bless his heart, it's the guy that used to live behind me for years. I mean, he's
Uh-huh.
been a neighbor for years and he moved. And um earlier this year, he bought a telescope for me because he felt bad that when he moved away, he's kind of pretty much just we weren't friends anymore. We didn't do anything together anymore and stuff like that. So he bought me a telescope. And I think it's just a 6-inch telescope.
Oh my, that's quite nice.
But it's yeah. But I mean, I can't wait to use it. But I go to bed so early, the sun's still up, and I can't.
And you can't force yourself to get up earlier and go out and do some
I get up.
morning
You know,
astronomy.
yeah. No, I don't. There's not enough coffee.
That's me. Not enough coffee in the world. I'd have to have an IV bag of coffee coming in and get up in the morning and turn it on.
I would
Okay,
have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to start drinking coffee to even want to
think about.
get to pull it outside at 4 a.m. and find something to look at.
Well, hey,
And right, yeah,
you'll
it's just
get
not
some
happening.
time off, and you'll have a long weekend, and it's going to be some clear weather. And
Hmm.
yeah, I keep saying that, but I've got mine
Well,
sitting over here gathering dust.
the
So
one I had my husband had bought this small telescope for me. I couldn't even tell you what it was, but it was perfect enough that you could look at the moon and it would just fill up the
Oh,
whole
God.
thing.
Yeah.
And one of the best memories I've ever had with my son
Mhm.
is that I had it fixed on the moon, and when I had pulled away and I was looking up, I could see a plane coming and it was gonna go right in front of the moon. And I was like, "Look in there right now." And when he got to it and he was looking at it, and he pulled back and he was like, I could see the windows and the lights on in that airplane. And that is something that child will never forget. He's 28, and to this day, that is the most vivid memory he's ever had. So, something that simple. Maria used her name. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I was gonna put bitch on there, but I just didn't feel like that's common knowledge. You all already know that.
Well, I was actually thinking about one, but I thought if I can't even come up with a good topic, I'm definitely not going to come up with an appropriate name this week.
I think last week I was bad company and I kept backspacing. I was just gonna leave it as bad.
Oh, was it 2 weeks ago we were talking about the Three Stooges a few times?
Could have been last week.
Like 4 different articles that I've seen in the last week have been bringing up similes between things
Mhm.
today and the Three Stooges. Saying,
Surprise. Somebody's listening.
this shit ain't right, dude. Something's
You know, I've
something.
got an Alexa.
They're broadcasting this shit at us.
I've got an Alexa and nothing's popped up yet
Mhm.
on my Alexa thing as much as it does on um and that's a funny thing because I was at Kevin's this weekend.
Okay.
And today, not yesterday, but today on Facebook feed, I got all of these male eh, whatever, like cologne,
Mm.
male, I mean,
Oh.
whatever it had to do with a man and him shampoo. I didn't get any vibrators or anything like that.
I, I'm not even, I will not say the first sale item that I expected
No,
to
no,
be on
please. Please share. Please share
the.
with us, Charles.
Oh,
But
starts with
anyway,
the big one starts with a V.
yeah.
Oh
Mm,
my
unneeded. But anyway, um,
oh my
but I
god.
mean, it was just like cologne and it was
Uh-huh.
just male grooming items, I guess,
Hmm.
that you would say that was on there. And I was like, we didn't talk about this. We didn't, I mean, I was just there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, why are all this men stuff
Maybe the
coming up?
AI. Maybe the AI is trying to say, Kevin's got to up his game here. So
Oh,
we're gonna suggest these things to Maria.
yep. You know, you couldn't even do that. I mean, and that's what kind of blew my mind because I mean, you just suggesting those items for him. I mean, he takes care of himself just fine. He doesn't need anything from me. He does it just fine.
No, he fits your taste.
Yeah.
Obviously, Alexa's taste may
Mhm.
be a little bit more sophisticated.
Something. Yeah, that bitch is wanting something better than
Oh,
you can't make it better. Oofy says, so that's parentheses Alexa is the real reason Maria does the show on the porch.
yes. Unfortunately, they take the mic feed anyway. So
Yeah, even though my microphone, all the settings and everything's turned off.
you can turn your phone. You can actually turn your phone off.
And it will still hear everything. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's there's been times that I've come in and I've walked past it and I noticed the lights on the bottom of it was swirling.
Okay.
Just reach over and unplug it. I don't know why you're swirling. I don't know what's going on. I
Well,
don't know if you're trying to hear something, but I'm
okay.
unplugging it and I'm going to leave it unplugged. And I used to before I had never Sadie before I had I've never really I don't do a Siri, I don't do Alexa, find this, do whatever. I use it more for an alarm clock than I do anything. It plays 80s music to me for me to wake up to, and if it starts with a song I don't like, I just jump up immediately and tell it to shut up.
'80s
Sadie.
flash dance music.
Let's see, the other morning,
Hey,
when Doves Cry came on, Prince, When the Doves Cry, um, sometimes it comes on with stuff and I'm just like, just do not wake me up to that song. And I'll
I'll
jump up and say, Alexa, shut up. And she does.
see there.
Yeah.
I
So it
guess
kind of works.
that gives
But it
gives it
still
a
doesn't
certain
learn to
amount
quit
of
playing songs I don't like.
autonomy.
Yeah.
Well, at least for now, you can turn it off. You know?
Yeah. The
But it's
bad part
yeah,
is that I have that alarm to go off first because I need to get up to that one. And then I have another alarm set on my phone because that's the absolute latest that I need to sleep in. And here lately, I've like turned both of them off and I shouldn't do that. Hang on a minute. This dog is pacing and she's driving me nuts. Be
that's
right
what
back.
that's what we need. Give me those nuclear batteries. Last forever. One of these days, see, they've made things so efficient that we don't need big batteries anymore. Just small batteries. So just leave them out in the sun and charge them with their new carbon graphite layered, high efficiency, 50% conversion photocells. Run them forever. Genghis, welcome. We're running. It's almost 8 o'clock. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to be running out of things to say. No, no, I'm going to answer that one. Okay. I I have thought about that. I've thought about actually having a hypnotic regression done, but never quite got around to it. I don't. I have suspicions, but I've never pushed it to the edge where it needs to go. Past lives are the evidence that I have discerned by myself in past lives was mostly stuff that I did when I was younger. That the very first time I did it seemed very familiar to me, like I had done it before. Okay, like it was a practiced talent that I had maybe had in a previous life, but I've never thought about. I've thought about having a regression done, But never really got around to it. It wasn't that important to me. Yes, Ron. Yeah, Tanya would be a great person to do that, I think. Hello, Venus. How are you, dear?
Damn, everybody's late.
All these
What the
people
hell?
showing up. We're gonna have to move the
Yeah,
show later. When's Kevin gonna come back with the music show?
I don't know.
Snap,
He's
snap,
been a
snap.
busy boy. Yeah,
Yes.
I'll have to get after him about that.
Yeah, I think about the past life thing. I just don't know. I don't know if it would tell me anything. I mean, that seems kind of. Mm, I don't know.
Sketchy?
I don't need it for my validation to find that I was a bank robber in a previous life or something. I don't know. Or
Yeah, nobody wants to hear about a past life to where you were a pheasant and you were a slave and you were
oh
beaten to death.
yes,
So they want to
exactly.
know that they're a
But
king or a
since
queen
it was
or
90% of us were that of those lives were that, you know, that I spent my life shoveling latrines. think I don't think that would be anything that I needed. Although that shovel did feel pretty familiar in my hands when I was
there you go. Charles was a royal
younger.
council in at
Mm,
least one life.
Royal Council. Mm. Why? Thank you,
Royal
dear.
pain in the ass. Sorry, couldn't
I, and, and,
resist.
and yes, and I was probably either hung or beheaded.
Oh, here come the helicopters. I hear it far off.
Oh, did you
Right
call them
now the
in?
dog's eating, so
Call them in while you were off screen there. Yeah, gotta come break this up, guys. It's getting a little
yeah.
scary out here.
Please come hover and settle down right back here.
Oh,
No, that
V
my poor
Psycho.
dog was
V Psycho just came in. You better.
gotta move it out.
Oh,
Move it out. No, my poor dog was like starving to death and staring at the door, so I had to go get her something to eat. But anyway, and I keep wanting to call him Sir Charles. So there you go.
actually, I've never told that story, but I was
If
nice. I
you
was
if
nice.
you're referring to hanged as a form of death, that's spoken differently.
Oh yes. No.
I
Oh,
don't know what
oh.
you all have caused, but here
I
comes
think
the
I might have
chopper.
said I was hung. Site BV. I know what
Like
you.
a horse? Is that what she's going? Is that where
Yes.
she's going?
Okay. Okay.
It was a
I don't think
compliment,
yes, I was referring to having been hanged. Correct.
not hung, hanged.
Yes. Yes.
You know what? I think your son is not in chat anymore, so it's okay.
Ah,
Oh,
Salem witch.
that was a Peter show too, right?
Mm, yes. I yeah.
No, was it Peter that was talking about the Salem witch trials?
Oh, who did? Oh God, who did Alan have on? I haven't seen his show yet. Was that last night on Alan's show?
No, Alan
Some kind of death
Alan had
thing?
an hour special tonight, but Alan's last show was about Atlantis.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. I thought he hadn't. I slipped another one in. I could be wrong.
But there's somebody we listened to that talked extensively about the
Witchcraft.
Salem witch trials.
Hmm. Well, Alan's guest next week is going to be Cheryl Costa, a practicing witch. So could be an upcoming thing. I like
That's driving me crazy because I listened to that and they were talking about the Puritans.
Yeah.
And they were talking about all of that.
Mm.
Whose show was that on?
I don't know.
Oh, I know. It was Friday night. It was Friday night and it was Bishop Long. He did a whole thing about that. And that was
Friday.
so good.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to go back and listen to that because it was great. That's what he did his whole show on, and he went into the history, he went into every bit of it, and even told you, and not just what happened, but how the Puritans lived,
Yes.
why they were that way, and they were still being governed under British rule and all that stuff, all of that different religion stuff.
Well,
The Puritans were evil bastards, just saying. But you can do everything under religion and call it good.
Yes, and they did. You know, you can there's a broad spectrum of human endeavors that are excused under religion. God, tens of millions.
Depends on what country you're in.
Crusades on both sides, undoubtedly. You know, a significant portion of the population of Europe died. You know, Europe and the Middle East died over that. Oh, crap. And I don't know. I have no idea why. You know, what point of philosophy was the big difference that made it a killing matter? I don't know. Just jealousy and greed, probably had more to do with it than anything.
Always. What's the biggest thing is where Moses is buried? Is that
theoretically, I think each one wanted to recapture the temple at Jerusalem. You know, the Holy Land, and
But you look, there is a fine line there between Muslims and the Jews. So
yes, there isn't. You know, they both use the same Old Testament. Okay, the Torah and I don't forget what they're the same book. That's the base book. You know, the first.
Other than Allah.
Yeah.
That was just copied there. That was just a rewritten.
Well, in fact,
let me start a new cult thing.
Unless I am totally incorrect. The Muslims believe in Jesus too. They accept that Jesus was a previous prophet. Okay, just like Muhammad. So I don't.
But you know, and it's like then you get into the
lessons. If you take whether it's Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha or Krishna or Allah or the great spaghetti monster. If I look at it with clear eyes and an open heart, and I can accept it, then by golly, it has a little bit of divinity in it. But if it tells me that I have to go out and sacrifice children, no,
not doing it.
I'll skip that one.
What is it? Which? Okay, so like the burqa that goes from head to toe.
Yes.
Women have to wear that so that men are not responsible for their own erections. You know, that's a great one. That's a great one.
Well, they allow 4 wives too. Or is it whatever? Yeah.
Oh, do they really?
Yes.
Does that one rely?
So that's why they have to hide them. That's a greed thing. It's a greed thing. You know?
Well, one thing about it, you don't have to worry about somebody else coveting it because they can't see it.
Oh my dear, the hidden is so much more attractive than the real.
Oh, it really is.
That
But
is
through a
my
burqa? Sorry.
because the imagination always exceeds the reality.
Oversized t-shirts and baggy blue jeans, I guess. I don't
Mm.
know.
Oh God, pasta pastafarians. Yes, I'm a great follower of the pastafarian creed.
Ooh, the pasta people. Yes. I love
I
pasta.
no, I have have we risen to the occasion yet? Are we good to go?
Oh,
I think
hi, Marco.
we said enough to. We've probably
Look,
said enough to piss everybody in the world off now. You know.
look, Marco showed up 45 minutes after we would have
I
ended the
know
last show.
the poor guy.
Gaines, yeah,
We, I've got to. I'm going to have to put him in the big book,
the email
the
list.
big address book for the email notice.
He would just scoff at it.
Probably.
Oh, they want me to watch their show. I don't think so. I'll
That's
show up at the
okay.
last minute.
Hey, I took a couple of weeks off there, and everybody kind of is wandering back in now. I think maybe it's to eat. It's forced them back in there.
I don't
So,
know. Oofy's talking about food, the Italian cult of
oh my,
pasta sacrifice. Yes,
spaghetti
pasta.
trees. They chopped down all the spaghetti trees.
Bastards.
Oh my God, where are we now? The tomatoes, tomato sauce.
Tomatoes.
Why? Wait, what? Where are tomatoes? Where are tomatoes from? Are tomatoes an American dish? An American vegetable, or is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable? I think it's a fruit, right?
Did the Indians have
I
tomatoes?
know that's my question. I'm not
Were
sure.
they brought from abroad? I don't know, but whether they had them or we brought or they brought them or whatever, I'm
I know
thankful because a homegrown tomato,
potatoes are American, corn is American. I'm just not sure about tomatoes. Come on, Newfie. You're our reference librarian. Where did tomatoes come from?
yeah, she knows everything.
Huh? It's great to be quoted. Uh, See? Oh, that may have been from the original garden. That was
Thought
the
that was
that was the
apple.
ah. That's a
Oh, now
favorite.
wait a minute. Tomato is referred to as a fruit, so there you go. That's what it is. That damn homegrown tomato. Sucked
I
her right
believe
on it.
people thought they were poison. I thought that was tomato. I thought that was potatoes that were poisonous. I
So
could
who
be
was
wrong.
the first one that tried it then? If they thought it was poisonous, Papa, Papa, hi, Papa. Italy. Papa said Italy. Yeah. Okay. So my sister went to Italy with several of her friends, and they know somebody that lives there, so they were staying at their house. These people don't have supper until like way past 9, 10 o'clock at night. But everything, they go to the market for everything,
Mhm.
and they buy it fresh and they cook it fresh, and if they're cooking, you don't go to sleep until they're done. And so if it's 11 o'clock before you have supper. So anyways, my sister's not been back to Italy since. She's like, I'm not doing it.
I'll have to do a whole show on food of the world.
Mm. Anthony Bourdain.
Yes.
Oh, that's a whole different story. I shouldn't
Yes.
have brought that name up.
Well,
Mm.
I'm Dragon. I've
Me
got
too.
run out of things to say tonight. But I
About
want to
out.
thank every one of you for being here, being a part of our show, keeping it going, and to make it worthwhile, and to keep us and everybody that's listening entertained. And Maria, you are the 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 grease that keeps the thing going. Oh, that's okay. It's nice. It smells good.
Okay. I just keep shoveling it in and you just keep biting. So
Okay.
whatever.
So thank you. Thank you all for being here. And so we end another show. Good night. God love you, and goodbye.